Well, hey guys, Jonathan with you once again. Hopefully the microphone is working properly Yesterday's microphone debacle. I know regular listeners go, Jonathan, what is the obsession with microphones? I don't know. It's a thing. Best I can tell now, it's completely working. So fingers crossed. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Would you please make sure that you have subscribed? Hit that subscribe button here. It makes a really huge difference. And there's a notification bell so that I can wake you up at 2 a.m. as soon as an episode goes live, because I know that's what you want. What else? Under here, there's a whole bunch of links. The podcast version is here. If you want to go check out the podcast version, I always go deeper on that one. You can get a free copy of my book. Just go below here, grab that. And if you want to book me to speak, I'm back speaking. It's a lot of fun. Airports, not so much, but the whole meeting people and speaking is just a joy. So whether it's business, education settings, church settings, whatever it is, go and check out how to book me to speak. That would be good. Now, today, we are still on a journey together, my friends, with the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. We're going to stay on that just a little bit each day. Why? Because like I said yesterday, so much of what I'm doing here is teaching myself, reminding myself, because that's how I learn. So we're on a journey together. I'm on this journey with you. What is this journey? It's a journey to actualize the potential that's within us. That's what I think is the point. My life's mission is to liberate people's potential. That's why I do this. I want to liberate your potential. I want to liberate mine. There's so much within us to do, be, have, and contribute. And learning from the greatest minds, the greatest men and women in history is part of how we do it. So the Marcus Aurelius journey, of course, first century Roman emperor. In this early section, we're just looking at the things that he wrote down that he had learned from the most important people in his life. Today, I read a quote where he is talking about what he learned from his friend Maximus, who is probably the Maximus from the movie Gladiator. But he said that the crucial thing he learned from Maximus, and I'm just going to read this to you, it's very simple. He said, self-control and resistance to distractions. Resistance to distractions is a huge thing. Most of you know that I have no social media other than getting this out on YouTube. I slowly deleted it over the last few years. I had like 10,000 followers. 6,500 followers. Always tell the truth. On Facebook, I deleted that. Had 1,000 followers in another group, and Facebook kicked me off. I don't even know what I said. Got rid of Instagram. I actually like Instagram. I think it can be quite pretty. Maybe I'll go back on it one day. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like Instagram, maybe I'll get back on that if it's helpful to you guys. Maybe. Karen thinks I should do it. And, what's the old saying? Happy spouse, happy house. So let me know what you think. But slowly I've got rid of all social media off the phone. I've got no news apps on the phone. And I've become increasingly evangelist and disciple for the no distraction lifestyle. So I do read deeply. I'm a big fan of Substack, so I will find key people on Substack who I trust and think are brilliant, and I'll read their stuff. I'm trying to be more and more disciplined in my daily workflow. So there's a great interview with Lex Friedman. If I can find it, I'll put a link under here to it. He's a Silicon Valley guy, entrepreneur, business guy, but PhD in quantum something, who did a video about how he goes through every day. He does 3-4 hour blocks of dedicated absolute concentration time. And he fits in exercise and time for other stuff and eating, but he doesn't have children. He's a single guy. So for many of us, it's a lot harder. But I think I am a devotee of this idea of just trying to constantly remove the distractions from our lives. We are such a distracted people. The system wants to keep us that way. The more distracted we are, the more we can be moved and controlled and directed, the more we will consume. So we need to take our power back. I really think we need to be awake and alert and conscious and be drilled down into what's really going on in the world, not what's being served up. I haven't watched free-to-air television, I'd say, in probably 20 years, give or take. Very definitely not the last 15 to 20. So I try and stay as undistracted as possible, and so far we're getting there. Now today, I'm responding to a bit of a listener question. I go deeper in the podcast version. I read out the question, but I'm just going to riff on it here from memory. It's the second time in a few weeks I've had a question about the balance between my drivenness, my focus on, growth, personal development, being obsessed with things, pushing ourselves, being active and physical, and this constant sense in me of doing, being, having, and contributing more to the world. With this, I think people are misconstruing it in the sense that they think I'm on all the time, and I'm advocating being on all the time. How do you balance this with the need for rest, quietness, stillness, being okay with where you actually are without this endless future focus? Totally get it, respect the question. The truth in my life, and maybe I've got to be more open about this, is that I do far more rest contemplation than you would realize. So after getting out of the studio, I'm going over to the local cathedral. I usually spend about 40 minutes to an hour with the big Apple AirPod Max headphones using a brown noise generator, and I sit in there for about an hour of prayer, contemplation, and silence. I fight for that on a daily basis, and I probably have for, I reckon, 30 odd years or more. So I'm a huge advocate of sleep, of sleeping and having very strong sleep routines. So I'm it's a paradox. I do both. I really do both. And I apologize if at any point it seems I'm only doing one thing, which is drivenness, because I'm not. So I think these two things can live alongside each other really well. You just got to be deliberate about it. I do believe that we are here to unleash all our capacity. So I do react against a kind of settling lifestyle where you just settle for whatever's served up to you in life and you don't take responsibility for your health or your energy levels. I don't think that's a good thing. I really don't. I think we should be in awe of this incredible gift that God has given us, this body, these intellects, these spirits that we have, and that we should try and make the most of them. Why did Jesus talk about the parable of the talents? Why did he say, to the guy that took the money and buried it in the ground, if you know the story, he was angry at him. He was like, no, you don't get to hide your talents. You don't get to hide your gifts. You need to go out and do something with them. So we need to hold these things in tension. Two other points. One is, as a parent, I think, I'm watching my kids really grow and develop. They're coming into their teens and they're getting so many. My eldest daughter's amazing. She loves her sport, her soccer. We're looking at her going into university, college, at about 15. She's been home educated recently, and she's starting to explore starting university at 15, which is really exciting for her. We're not pushing her to do it. We are not pushing her to do it, but she's exploring it. My son last night before bed, he's getting ready for bed. He just jumps on the piano and just rips it. And I'm like, I can play guitar and I can sing, but we're not a super musical family necessarily. And to see him, he's a really good drummer, and the kid's 12 and a half. And now he's just ripping the piano to pieces. And I said to him as I was putting him to bed, I said, mate, I'm so proud of you. I'm so stoked to see you growing. And I think what I'm getting at here is I really think that's how God looks at us. I look at my youngest daughter, who I just adore, and she's into baking, which I hate because it's so damn delicious. And it's just every day. She's traveling back from Queensland with Karen at the moment. She's on the phone yesterday. She's going, Dad, I've got all these new recipes. I'm like, no, stop. But what I'm getting at is that these three different kids have these three different interests and talents, and I get pumped on it. I'm so happy for them. And I think that's how God looks at us. It's exactly how he looks at you. He looks at your gifts, your talents, your capacities, and wants you to develop them. Now, here's the point. At the same time, I'm happy when my kids are resting. And when they're tired, I love them just when they're tired and they're resting. And yes, they do get to watch TV and they do get to do normal stuff all the time. So I want to say to you all that what happens in the heart of a parent, I think, is part of what happens in the heart of God towards all of us, that he loves it when we're active. He loves it when we're striving and growing and pushing and developing, and he loves it when we're resting and contemplative. So I do think these things exist together. The other point was my father, who's been dead for over a decade, is in many ways the antithesis of me. He was really overweight. He struggled his whole life with depression. He hated his work. He hated his career. He was forced into something as a young person that he hated. It's a family business, and he never got out of it. And I saw what that did to him in so many levels, the trauma that he lived through as a child, and he never got out of it. And there's a reactive streak in me, and there is for many of us. We often react against things that we grew up with. And I think that's it's in all of us. And I'm very aware of it. I'm aware of it in me, that there's a drivenness and a desire to create something different than what I experienced. I'm not judging him. I feel great compassion for my father's experience. but I am aware of it. So I think we all are a mix where we're reacting against things, where we're complex, beautiful, spiritual, physical beings, who are on this amazing journey of life together. But I think my bedrock principles are we're here to grow. We're here to grow. God didn't put us here just to go, hey, even in the Genesis stories, he says he doesn't put Adam and Eve in the garden and say, hey, there's your garden, go sit there, do nothing. He's like, subdue the garden, grow stuff, have dominion. He's telling them to be active. He's saying, I've created this amazing reality for you. Now go and enjoy it, live in it, experience it. So, I just think there's some deep spiritual undercurrents in this. So look, summary, I think that these things exist together. So I've been up since 4. I've done a 40K bike race, and I'm going to get the kids to school now, get out of the studio, and then I'm going to the church for prayer for an hour, and then I'm going to rip into the day hardcore. When the kids are home, I'm going to put a heavy pack on. We're going straight up the mountains again. So yeah, that's how I do it. I just keep, and now when I'm on, and I'm on a lot. But that's me. And if you're watching this kind of content, there's something resonates with you, that you're still here, that you're still watching this, that you're still interested in. So my hope and my prayer for you is that nothing of the beautiful potential in your life is wasted. Nothing of the capacity that you have is wasted. And another part of that question, which you can hear more of in the podcast below here, is talking about, they're talking about family members who are dealing with great trauma, and it's massively affected their mental health. And I think, look, I'm not going to go too deeply into this on the video version. You can get the longer version below, but I think many of us experience so much pain in life and suffering and trauma. Not all of us, but the real risk is that we never move out beyond it, that we stay stuck in the story and the pain. And a lot of what I do here and I'm saying here is I think the metaphor from the book of Exodus of the Israelites leaving Egypt is a metaphor for all of us. It's like sooner or later in life, we are called out of our difficulties and our setbacks. We can't stay there forever. I think I stayed there in my own life for about 25 years until I finally moved out of a lot of that stuff and began to take real responsibility for my life and realized that digging over my past endlessly was never going to set me free. I had to just walk out. I had to just walk out of Egypt and decide to believe different things. And some of you will be listening going, really? You're telling me that? It's that simple? No, it's not simple, because I struggled with it. I struggled with it for many, many years. I was looking for a system, a program, a plan to get out of depression and anxiety, and I didn't get it. I got so frustrated by it. But in the end, I just couldn't stay there anymore. I just decided to walk out. And maybe, does that sound simple? I guess it does, but maybe I'm just here to tell you that you can begin to believe different things. You can begin to think different things. You can begin to make different choices. I think being physically active is a big part of it, that often that we heal our minds and our spirits through our bodies. So being physically active and healthy can tend to bring a healing and a blessing to us. So look, that's it. I'm going to stop there. There's a lot to it. I hope it's a blessing. Summary, Marcus Aurelius tells us to get rid of the distractions in life. So go about that today, tonight, when you're watching. Start to weed out those distractions so you can do good quality work, because that's what we should do. We should do good quality work that blesses people. And then in terms of all the other stuff we've riffed on, do both. When it's time to push and strive and be obsessed, go and do it with everything in you to release that incredible potential. And when it's time to rest at 100%. You have my blessing. All right, everybody, please make sure you've subscribed. Hit that subscribe button below here. Go check out all the show notes. Book me to speak. If you're in a leadership position somewhere and you'd love me to come and work with your team and structure some content specifically for what the needs are at your business, your organization, please do that. We can have a conversation, and I'd love to come and meet your community and get up there in front of them and see how we can all move forward together. Grab a free copy of my book under here. Go check out the podcast version and everything else that's there. God bless you, everybody. My name's Jonathan Doyle. This has been The Daily Message, and you and I are going to talk again tomorrow.